Hi, I'm Charla with Freezer Meals 101. Welcome. Today we are going to be making some easy chicken recipes. These are going to come together so super fast. I've chosen all recipes that are using raw chicken, so we haven't had to cook any of the chicken before, and we can just go ahead and get things started. Now, these are basically chicken dump recipes. We're just gonna put the chicken in the bags and dump all the other ingredients in, but you'll be surprised by how much variety there is in what we're doing. These are not all just chicken marinade recipes. We're doing a couple of bags of That Lady's chicken, which is a family favorite here. Very, very fast and easy. And I'm doing 2 bags because I haven't made it for a while and my family's been requesting it. So I think I'm gonna pull it out this Sunday when we're having like our daughter who's married and her husband over, and when we have like our son's girlfriend and like a big family meal. And so I will need 2 to feed the whole family. So we are also doing orange chicken thighs, Thai chicken thighs, sheet pan fajitas. This is going to be a first for this, and I'm so excited because I've really been getting into sheet pan freezer meals lately, and if this goes well, then I'm going to be adding the recipe into the Freezer Meals 101 Club. You can find the link for that down below. And this may just be a new family favorite, tried and true recipe for us. We shall see. Then we are also making sweet chili chicken with cashews. This is another new recipe today that we're gonna try together and see how it goes here. Lemon pepper chicken, very tried and true, so that's like the opposite, but very good and easy to put together. And lastly, we're gonna be making salsa chicken. That is another really easy chicken dump recipe, and we will get all of these put together, and you are gonna be able to fill your freezer so easily. Anyway, let's get started on the meals, and as we go through, I'll give you some more tips. So I went ahead and I got all the chicken breasts ready and in bags, and then we'll do the thighs separately. It's easiest to work with one thing at a time, and even though it's all chicken, we just separated out the chicken breasts and the chicken thighs. I've got 3 bags of just chicken breasts, and then I've got a bag of chicken breast that is cubed and a bag of chicken breast that is thinly sliced, and that's what those recipes required. So I've even gone ahead and measured out 1 cup of cashews and put them in a medium-sized freezer bag, and this will get stapled onto the other large freezer bag when that recipe is finished, so that it's all in the freezer and all together for the day of cooking. I've also prepped my vegetables ahead so that everything is done and I can just quickly throw things in the bags and get this made as quickly as possible. And if you do your prep ahead too, you will find that you can just very easily put things together and you feel so accomplished when it's all done. For the sheet pan fajitas, I've already thinly sliced 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts and put them in the bag. So I'm just adding the sliced red, yellow, and green pepper along with some sliced purple onion. Then we're going to add some olive oil, salt and pepper, and I'm going to add fajita seasoning. Now, if you want to, you can make a homemade fajita seasoning, but I'm going to go ahead and use this jar of fajita seasoning that I already had in my pantry. Then we're going to add a little bit of minced garlic and a few splashes of lime juice. When you go to serve this, you will just cook it all on a sheet pan in the oven, and then you can put it into flour tortillas and top it with whatever toppings you like in your fajitas, like sour cream, salsa, guacamole, cheese, whatever it is that you normally do in your fajitas. You can go ahead and add those toppings on the day that you serve it. I am super looking forward to this one. For the orange chicken, we're also using 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, but these have been cubed. They're already in the bag, so we're just going to add some freshly squeezed orange juice. I should have rolled my orange first so that this squeezed a little bit easier, but I'll learn that lesson for next time. I usually use this tool for my lemons or my limes. I haven't used it with an orange before, and it was a little bit harder than I was expecting, but it did work out in the end. Then we're going to add some orange zest from the same orange, some garlic cloves, red pepper flakes, pepper, olive oil, teriyaki sauce, and some sesame seeds. I think the flavors in this marinade are going to be delicious, and I'm super looking forward to trying this one. I think we'll probably serve it with rice, and that way if there's a little bit of sauce, we can spoon that onto the rice. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to us here on Freezer Meals 101 for easy family recipes. Now I know that because these are all chicken recipes, it doesn't give you, even though there is some variety among the meals and some of them have your veggies and all of that kind of stuff in there, it doesn't give you enough variety, but it is always faster to work with one protein at a time. So today we're doing, we're just gonna bang out all these chicken recipes, and then next week I am going to be doing some ground beef recipes. So when that video is done, I will put a link at the end of this video. It won't be done yet because this video is happening first, but when it is done, I will put a link at the end of this video, or just watch out next week for that video. And if you combine these two, so you did, one afternoon, you took a couple hours or maybe even an hour if you're fast, and put together these chicken recipes, and then another afternoon or later that afternoon you put together the ground beef recipes, then you would have a ton of variety and you would have weeks or even a month of dinners, especially if you double each of the recipes. Now, it is always faster and more economical to make 2 of each recipe at a time. That way you can buy in bulk. You can even get discounts on your meat if you buy enough at a time. And it hardly takes any extra time to make 2 of that recipe, and then you've got double the meals. So it always makes sense to double your recipes or even triple or quadruple them. Next, we're gonna do the sweet chili chicken with cashews. So we're using chicken breasts for this, our Thai sweet chili sauce. We're doing half an onion that's been sliced, 2 carrots that are peeled and chopped, some pea pods. I went ahead and cut these into smaller pieces. Most of them I cut in half, some I cut in a third. Now, you can also add celery to this, chopped celery, but I have a celery allergy, so we're skipping the celery, of course. Then we're going to add some garlic cloves, some red pepper flakes, salt, pepper, and ginger. And then we're going to add a cup of chicken broth. You can also use water if you prefer. On the day you go to serve this, you're going to make a cornstarch slurry. So you're just going to mix together 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. And once that is really well combined, then you're going to pour that into the rest of the dish to thicken the sauce. And then this dish will be ready once that chicken is all cooked up. You can either cook this in the Instant Pot or the slow cooker, and you'll serve it on rice. Now we're going to take that bag of cashews that we had measured out earlier, and we're going to staple that to this large bag, and then we'll be putting that in towards the end of cooking. With the veggies, chicken, and cashews in here, this makes a really nice, healthy meal. Here is a chicken dump recipe for you that could not be any easier. It is 4 ingredients, guys. 4 ingredients. That's it. So you've got your boneless, skinless chicken breasts, your salsa, brown sugar, and Dijon mustard. Now, I know it sounds very simple, and it is, but when you cook it up, it has the most beautiful color to it, and it is really flavorful. So this is such a nice one to have on hand to pull out because you can cook it in the oven, in the skillet, or even in the slow cooker. So it is great no matter what kind of day you're having. You'll notice that in all of these, I am being extra careful to get all the air that I can out of the bags. That's because I don't want to have freezer burn, and air is what causes that. So I'm just being extra careful to get all the air I can out. Moving on to our lemon pepper chicken. This is our oldest daughter's favorite, and I made it recently for her and her husband because they're expecting a baby. So I did a bunch of freezer meals for just the two of them to get her kind of over the hump while she's not feeling the best. And this one is going to her as well. So I just have only 3 chicken breasts in the bag because it's just the two of them. And then your lemon juice, garlic cloves, cayenne pepper, just a tiny bit, some lemon pepper seasoning, of course, and Italian seasoning. And that's it. So just, I think that's what, 6 ingredients, and we've got another meal done. That was a super, super easy one, and I think you guys will like the freshness of this one. The Thai chicken thighs recipe calls for fresh cilantro, and it also calls for Thai basil. Unfortunately, both of the grocery stores that I went to didn't have Thai basil. I know that there is an Asian grocery store in the city that I could have gone to and gotten it, but I just didn't have time. So when I couldn't find it at any of the local grocery stores, I did a quick Google search and discovered that it won't be quite as fragrant, but I can use just regular Italian basil. And thankfully I grow both cilantro and basil in my little indoor herb garden, which I love. So today we're gonna be using the cilantro and regular basil for the Thai chicken thighs. So now we are moving on to our chicken thigh recipes, and the first one is, of course, those Thai chicken thighs that I don't have the right basil for, but anyway, it's still going to be awesome. We're using our chicken thighs, some salt and pepper, and then that fresh cilantro and basil, some green onions that we've sliced ahead of time, and then we're adding fish sauce, 1 tablespoon of canola oil, some freshly squeezed lime juice. So I'm going ahead and using that tool that I was using earlier and just getting the lime juice right out of the lime, and then I'm going to zest the same lime to add in some lime zest, a little bit of brown sugar, just a tiny bit, some freshly grated ginger again. I use the squeeze tube kind for mine, and I was right down to the bottom of the squeeze tube, so I had a little bit of trouble getting enough, but I have just enough after I squeezed every last drop out of it. But you know how I don't like to waste anything, so I'm glad I could use that all up. I think that on the day we make these, it is going to be a really, really flavorful dish. This is one that we've never tried before, but the marinade just sounded so good, and I can't wait to give it a try. You could cook these in the oven, on the stovetop in a skillet, or even on the barbecue. You know how there are some recipes that are just so familiar for your family that they kind of get woven into like the story of your family? Well, this recipe is like that for us. I have been making this since my kids were very little. We call it That Lady's Chicken, and it calls for Russian dressing, dry onion soup mix, and apricot jam.
That is it. So you've got 4 ingredients, including your chicken. You can make this with chicken thighs or chicken breasts. This time I'm using chicken thighs. Now you might notice that I'm not using Russian dressing, I'm using Catalina. And that is because sadly I could not find Russian dressing at either of the grocery stores that I looked at. Usually one of them carries it for sure. They just were sold out right now. And I have substituted Catalina before. It's not quite as good. You don't get exactly the right flavors when you use Catalina, but it's similar enough. And it's been so long that we made this recipe that I just didn't want to wait until they had Russian dressing back in stock because my kids have been asking for it. So I went ahead and made it just with the Catalina. You can also substitute peach jam for the apricot if you prefer, but as you can probably tell, this recipe is super forgiving. You can kind of make it any which way and it will turn out. I also really like to use the leftover sauce and any chicken that's left after I make this recipe to make a soup with, which sounds strange but is actually delicious.
This has been a lot of fun and it all came together very quickly. Now I had prepped some of the ingredients before I started assembling these today because it always saves time to have as much as you can prepped ahead. And I also took out all the ingredients that I needed so that I wasn't gonna be rifling through pantries as I went along. And that just also saves time. But if you do those things as well, you can get these meals made in no time at all. And I know you're gonna love the feeling of having your freezer stacked so you can relax. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm gonna put a link here once the ground beef video is done. For now, it'll just be some random video, but if you're watching this a little bit later, that ground beef video should be there. Happy cooking.